The Eternal Voyager. Long ago, in a far-off galaxy, there was a traveler known only as the Eternal Voyager. No one knew his real name, where he came from, or why he wandered the stars. Some said he was cursed to never stop moving. Others believed he was searching for something lost in the void of space. The Voyager's ship, Starlight Horizon, was ancient, yet beautiful. It glowed with a soft silver light and hummed with energy that never seemed to run out. The ship was faster than any other vessel, able to leap across entire galaxies in the blink of an eye. Yet, no matter where the Voyager went, he always left before anyone could truly know him. Chapter 1. The Message. One day, the Voyager received a strange signal. It was not like any he had encountered before. The message was simple. Help us. We are trapped. Our sun is dying. The Voyager hesitated. He had made a rule never to stay too long in one place. He feared the stories about his curse might be true, that staying in one place would doom him and those around him. But the desperation in the message tugged at his heart. He decided to go. Chapter 2. The Fading World. The signal led the Voyager to a small planet called Auran, circling a dim, fading sun. The planet's people, the Aurenians, were unlike any he had seen before. They were tall, with skin that shimmered like liquid gold. They greeted the Voyager with hope in their eyes. "Our sun is dying," said their leader, Elder Kale. "Without it, our planet will freeze, and we will perish. You are our only hope." The Voyager studied the sun. It was indeed collapsing, but there was something strange about it. It was not natural. It was being drained of its energy. "Who is doing this?" the Voyager asked. Elder Kale looked afraid. "The Shadow Makers," he whispered. Chapter 3. The Shadow Makers. The Voyager learned that the Shadow Makers were ancient beings that fed on the energy of stars. They traveled from system to system, leaving destruction in their wake. They had been dormant for centuries, but now they had returned, and Auran's sun was their latest victim. The Voyager knew he could not fight the Shadow Makers alone. He studied their ancient texts and found a clue, a way to stop them. Deep within the galaxy lay a weapon, the Star Forge. It was said to be powerful enough to reignite dying suns and banish the Shadow Makers forever. But the Star Forge was hidden on a planet surrounded by deadly storms and guarded by machines older than time. Chapter 4. The Journey to the Star Forge. The Voyager set out to find the Star Forge, but the journey was perilous. His ship was battered by solar winds and attacked by rogue pirates who wanted to steal its secrets. Yet the Voyager pressed on, driven by the cries of the Aurenians. When he finally reached the Starforge's planet, he found a desolate wasteland. The storms raged endlessly, and the sky was lit with flashes of crimson lightning. The Voyager braved the storms, guided by a map he found in the ancient texts. At last he stood before the Starforge. It was massive, a structure of glowing crystal and metal, pulsing with energy. Chapter 5. The Final Battle. Activating the Star Forge was not easy. As soon as the Voyager began, the Shadow Makers appeared, drawn by the energy. They were dark, shapeless beings with glowing red eyes. They attacked, trying to stop him from finishing his task. The Voyager fought them, using the Star Forge's power to push them back. It was a battle of light and darkness, with the fate of Auran hanging in the balance. With one final surge of energy, the Voyager activated the Star Forge. A beam of pure light shot into the sky, reaching Auran's sun. The sun flared to life, brighter than ever before. The Shadow Makers screamed as the light consumed them, banishing them to the void. Chapter 6. The Eternal Journey. The Voyager returned to Auran. The people celebrated, their golden skin glowing brighter under their renewed sun. Elder Kale thanked him and offered him a place to stay, but the Voyager shook his head. "I cannot stay. My journey is not over." He boarded the starlight horizon and disappeared into the stars, leaving behind only stories of the hero who saved Auron. And so the Eternal Voyager continued his journey, moving from star to star, always searching for the next mystery, the next call for help. He was a wanderer, a savior, and a legend. And though he was alone, he was never truly lonely, for the stars themselves whispered his name in gratitude. Chapter 7. The Echo of Lost Stars. The Eternal Voyager's journey led him to the Edge Nebula, a place where stars were said to vanish without a trace. This region of space was feared by travelers, for it was shrouded in endless darkness, and strange voices echoed through the void. As the starlight horizon entered the nebula, the Voyager noticed something peculiar. The stars here were dim, their light flickering like dying embers. But the voices were real. They whispered in languages he didn't understand, calling out in sorrow and desperation. The Voyager traced the whispers to an ancient, abandoned station orbiting a blackened star. The station was massive, its surface covered in alien runes glowing faintly in the dark. As he docked his ship, the whispers grew louder, forming a single, repeating phrase: "Save us, save our light." Inside the station, the Voyager discovered fragments of a civilization long gone. Holograms flickered to life, showing a race of beings with crystalline bodies who had once thrived here. They had created the station to harness the light of their star, but something had gone terribly wrong. Their experiments had backfired, and their star had collapsed, dragging them into an endless void. The Voyager found their final message: "Our star's core holds the key to freeing us, but beware, the core is guarded by the Void Keeper." Chapter 8. The Void Keeper. Descending into the blackened star's core, the Voyager encountered the Void Keeper, a colossal entity made of shadows and swirling energy. It was the guardian of the collapsed star, feeding off the remnants of its light. The Voyager tried to reason with the Void Keeper, but it would not listen. "Leave this place, traveler. The light here is mine, and you cannot take it." Knowing he had no choice, the Voyager engaged in a desperate battle. The Void Keeper summoned waves of dark energy, but the starlight horizon was agile and its weapons strong. Using the ship's energy reserves, the Voyager unleashed a powerful burst of light, piercing through the Void Keeper's defenses. As the creature weakened, the star's core began to pulse with renewed energy. The Voyager activated a device he had recovered from the station, channeling the core's power to restore light to the nebula. The Void Keeper, defeated, faded into nothingness, and the star's light exploded outward, illuminating the entire region. The whispers stopped, replaced by a gentle hum of gratitude. The spirits of the crystalline beings, finally freed, ascended into the light, their voices thanking the Voyager before vanishing forever. Chapter 9. The Guardian's Promise. With the nebula restored, the Voyager continued his journey. But as he traveled, he began to notice something strange. The starlight horizon was changing. Its silver glow was now tinged with gold, and its systems seemed to operate more smoothly than ever before. The Voyager discovered that the device he had used to restore the nebula had fused with his ship, enhancing it in ways he could not yet understand. The ship could now detect faint signals from across the galaxy, calls for help that no one else could hear. It was as if the spirits of the crystalline beings had given him a gift, ensuring he would never miss a chance to save others in need. Chapter 10. The Forgotten Armada. The next signal led the Voyager to an ancient battlefield in deep space. Massive, broken ships drifted aimlessly, their hulls scarred by weapons long forgotten. This was the site of the War of the Twin Suns, a legendary conflict between two rival civilizations that had destroyed each other eons ago. Among the wreckage, the Voyager found a single functioning ship, its crew in cryosleep. These survivors had been trapped for centuries, lost in the void. They told him of a hidden weapon, the Eclipse Cannon, buried deep within the battlefield. It was the weapon that had ended the war, but it had never been deactivated. The cannon, they warned, was unstable. If it exploded, it could destroy not only the battlefield, but entire nearby systems. The Voyager worked with the survivors to navigate the wreckage and disable the cannon. But the task was not simple. The battlefield was haunted by automated drones programmed to destroy any intruders. Through teamwork and ingenuity, the Voyager managed to reach the cannon's core and deactivate it. The survivors, now free, pledged to rebuild their civilization and carry on the lessons of the past. Chapter 11. The Timeless Sea. The Voyager's next journey took him to a mysterious region called the Timeless Sea. Here, the laws of time and space were warped, creating endless paradoxes. Ships entered and never returned, lost in loops of their own making. As the Voyager ventured deeper, he encountered versions of himself, some younger, some older, and some who had made different choices in their travels. These echoes warned him of a great danger at the heart of the Timeless Sea, a device known as the Eternium Core. The core was powerful, capable of rewriting time itself, but it had gone out of control, creating the paradoxes that trapped so many. The Voyager knew he had to destroy it, but doing so would mean erasing every alternate version of himself that had been trapped there. In a bittersweet moment, the Voyager bid farewell to his echoes and disabled the core. As the paradoxes unraveled, the timeless sea stabilized, and the Voyager emerged into normal space once more, alone but resolute. Chapter 12. The Voyager's Legacy. Years passed, and the Voyager continued his mission, helping those in need and unraveling the mysteries of the galaxy. His name became legend, whispered in awe by those who had been saved. Some called him a hero, others a wanderer, and a few even called him a god. But the Voyager knew the truth. He was just a man, bound by the stars and driven by a purpose he could not fully explain. And so the Eternal Voyager sailed on, his story never ending, his light a beacon in the endless night of space. Chapter 13. The Starless Citadel. The Voyager's journey brought him to a region of space so dark it seemed the stars themselves had fled in fear. At its center was a massive structure, the Starless Citadel. It was a fortress floating in the void, built from blackened metal that absorbed all light. Legends spoke of this place as the prison of the Lightkeeper, a being who once controlled the flow of energy between the stars. The Voyager docked his ship cautiously. The citadel was eerily silent, its halls filled with crumbling statues and murals depicting a war between light and darkness. At its core, he found the Lightkeeper, a towering figure of radiant energy, bound by chains of shadow. "Who dares enter this forsaken place?" the Lightkeeper boomed, its voice echoing through the void. The Voyager stepped forward. "I am the Eternal Voyager. I seek to understand why the stars here have gone dark." The Lightkeeper explained that it had been imprisoned eons ago by the Starbinders, a group of beings who feared its power. Without the Lightkeeper's guidance, the stars in this region had withered and died. "Free me," the Lightkeeper pleaded, "and I will restore the stars to their former glory." But the Voyager hesitated. If the Lightkeeper had once been powerful enough to shape the cosmos, could it also be dangerous? Chapter 14. The Judgment of Stars. The Voyager searched the Citadel for answers. He discovered the writings of the Starbinders, who claimed the Lightkeeper had grown arrogant and careless, using its power to reshape worlds without regard for the lives it affected. The destruction it caused had forced them to seal it away. Faced with conflicting truths, the Voyager decided to confront the Lightkeeper. "If I release you, will you promise to use your power wisely?" The Lightkeeper hesitated, its radiant form flickering. "I cannot promise perfection, but I have learned from my imprisonment. Let me prove myself." Trusting his instincts, the Voyager shattered the chains. The Lightkeeper surged with energy, its brilliance illuminating the entire region. The dark void was filled with new stars, their light banishing the cold emptiness. The Lightkeeper turned to the Voyager. "I will honor your trust. Go, Voyager, and carry this light with you." The Voyager left the Citadel, his ship glowing brighter than ever before. Chapter 15. The Living Planet. One day, the starlight horizon detected an unusual anomaly, a planet-sized object that seemed alive. As the Voyager approached, he realized it wasn't just alive, it was sentient. The planet, called Gaia Primus, communicated through vibrations in space, expressing fear and confusion. Gaia Primus was being attacked by a fleet of machines known as the Harvesters. These mechanical beings sought to strip the planet of its organic material to sustain their own decaying systems. The Voyager quickly understood the stakes. If the Harvesters succeeded, Gaia Primus would perish, and an entire ecosystem would be lost. Using his ship's enhanced systems, he launched a counteroffensive, targeting the Harvester's mothership. The battle was fierce, and the Voyager had to rely on every ounce of his skill and courage. In the end, he managed to overload the Harvester's power core, causing their fleet to collapse. Gaia Primus responded with gratitude, sending out waves of warmth and light as a sign of its thanks. The Voyager left the living planet, knowing he had saved not just a world, but a unique consciousness in the universe. Chapter 16. The Broken Chain of Worlds. The Voyager's next journey led him to a cluster of planets linked by a mysterious energy network known as the Chain of Worlds. The network allowed the planets to share resources and energy, creating a harmonious balance. But when the Voyager arrived, he found the chain broken, the planets on the brink of chaos. The source of the disruption was a rogue planet called Nix 7, whose leaders had severed their connection to the chain and were hoarding resources for themselves. The other planets begged the Voyager to intervene. The Voyager traveled to Nix 7 and discovered that its people were not villains. They were afraid. Their scientists had detected a massive cosmic storm approaching, and they believed severing the chain was the only way to protect their world. Realizing the misunderstanding, the Voyager worked to repair the chain while also strengthening Nix 7's defenses against the storm. When the storm hit, the entire cluster stood united, weathering the disaster together. The Voyager's efforts had not only restored the chain, but also forged a deeper bond between the worlds. Chapter 17. The Black Sun Rising. The Voyager's travels brought him to a chilling discovery, a black star that consumed everything in its path. This star, known as Umbra Sol, was unlike any he had encountered. Its gravity was so immense that it pulled light and matter into an endless abyss. As he studied the star, the Voyager realized it was not a natural phenomenon. It had been artificially created by a long-extinct civilization as a weapon of mass destruction. Now, without its creators to control it, Umbra Sol was devouring entire systems. The Voyager knew he couldn't destroy Umbra Sol, but he found a way to contain it. Deep in the archives of a derelict research station, he discovered a blueprint for an ancient containment device called the Celestial Veil. Using the resources from nearby planets, he rebuilt the veil and deployed it around Umbra Sol. The Black Star's pull weakened, and its destructive path was halted. The Voyager left, knowing he had prevented untold devastation. Chapter 18. The Eternal Question. After countless adventures, the Voyager began to question his purpose. Why was he the one who wandered the stars, always alone? Was it fate, or had he chosen this path for himself? He returned to the place where his journey had begun, a forgotten corner of the galaxy where his ship, the Starlight Horizon, had first come to life. There he found a message buried deep within the ship's systems, left by its original creators. The message revealed that the Starlight Horizon was designed for a single purpose: to explore the unknown and preserve life across the cosmos. Its pilot was meant to be a guardian, chosen for their courage and compassion. The Voyager smiled. His journey was not a curse, but a gift, a chance to be part of something greater than himself. And so, with renewed determination, the Eternal Voyager set out once more, knowing that the universe still held countless mysteries waiting to be discovered.